IPOs have created millionaires in New India. Let's also take a look at how India's wealthiest fared in the last 1 year, Ankita. Now, some gained billions, of course, while others were not so lucky this time. Let's start with the gainers. Now, the biggest jump came for Gautam Adani, whose wealth surged by $12.4 billion in just 2025. Taking his net worth to over $91 billion. That's a strong comeback after last year's volatility. Next up, there is Lakshmi Mittal, saw his fortune rise $8.3 billion thanks to global metals rally. Now that's a whopping 42% for him. Mukesh Ambani, India's richest man, he added $7.2 billion with his wealth now nearing $98 billion. That's driven by strong telecom and retail performance for Reliance Industries. Now, Sunil Mittal, he has also seen a stellar year, up $4.8 billion. That's supported by Bharti Airtel's expanding digital play. On the other hand, we also have Kumar Mangalam Birla, who has gained $3.2 billion, while Savitri Jindal, she added about just $1 billion to her fortune. So that's about the gainers, Ankita. But what about the losers? Who are the ones?
Absolutely, Kanishka. Let's talk about the losers also. I mean, the list is long for the gainers, but let's talk about the losers then. And some of them saw some big declines there. Shiv, Nadar's wealth dropped the most, down almost $7.6 billion as IT stocks came under pressure this year. We had Chapur Mistry and Dilip Sanghvi each losing almost $4 and $4.5 billion, while Azim Premji's net worth fell by $4.3 billion, also reflecting the slowdown in the IT sector.
Absolutely, Ankita. You know the story of 2025, metals, telecom and infrastructure billionaires, they gained, whereas tech tycoons, they took a hit this time. And the wealth leaderboard, that may be steady at the top, but fortunes have clearly shifted this somewhat. And as we head into somewhat 2082, India's wealth story continues to evolve with shifting sectoral tides.
Absolutely. And well, last but not the least, this Diwali couldn't have been better, all thanks to the Diwali Dhamaka in the form of the GST rate rationalization. Well, the GST slabs have now come down to just 2, plus a special rate of 40% on select items and the sin goods. Well, as many as 375 items, including autos, FMCG, skincare, dairy products, medicines, staples, will now be cheaper, and the market is pinning its hope on the bumper Diwali consumption for this year.
Absolutely, Ankita. You know, now consumers are expected to save up to 2.5 lakh crore rupees given the GST rate rationalization. Home buyers, they're also getting relief as GST on cement has been reduced to just 18%. GST on small cars, that's also now just at 18%, whereas luxury cars, they will attract a flat 40% GST, which of course is still resulting in discounts compared with earlier rates. And finally, GST on life and health insurance, that has also been brought to zero, which is a long pending demand.
So, Kanishka, we've already talked about how tariffs that bit economies really hard and how Indian markets have failed to give significant returns this year. But Diwali is all about overcoming darkness with a firm resolve. And the new year holds promise, as analysts say that Indian markets may have bottomed out due to time-wise correction, but a lot hangs in the balance because of the global uncertainty. Well, the IMF now sees India's economy growing at 6.2% in 2026. That's a drop of 20 basis points.
Absolutely, Ankita. But if you know, there's a lot that will depend on how the war between China and US plays out in the coming year. Now, US has now threatened new 100% tariffs on China, while India's neighbor has issued stringent curbs on rare earth metals. Now, the war between Israel and Hamas, that has almost ended, but Russia, that refuses to relent in Ukraine. And now there is talk of US sending Tomahawk missiles to Ukraine. Now, the world feels like a tinderbox at the moment, but history tells us that volatility also presents opportunity. And it's time that India grabbed it with both hands.
Well, absolutely, Kanishka. Here's hoping for a better 2026, at least for the Indian markets. But with that, it's a wrap on this very special edition of the Ultimate Snakes and Ladders. Kanishka and I will take your leave, but here's wishing all our viewers a very happy and a prosperous Diwali.
Absolutely. Very happy Diwali to all of you.